I think there were three big factors in the transformation. The first is the attitude of the Polish people themselves. They've been through so much difficulty and anguish, frankly, as part of the old Soviet bloc. They were determined to reassert their national identity in an independent way. I think, secondly, the very experiences of the old system made people anxious to get on with the process of transformation. In other words, there was a sense of urgency and determination and commitment that was really quite different and has been, immensely exciting, actually, to see. So people, there are still legacy problems from the past that still need to be taken care of today, but nonetheless, the fact of the experience under the old Soviet system has also, I think, been a great spur to achievement and ambition for the future. And the third thing is the European Union then acted as a magnet. And this is one of the interesting things that the Europe has done, is for all the difficulties, and today obviously still a sense of crisis in some parts of Europe, or at least a sense of enormous difficulty, nonetheless, the system that Europe represents of open markets, rule of law, democratic political systems, that still is a powerful pull factor for countries wanting to change. So I think a combination of those three factors meant that Poland decided really to assert its own identity, but do that in a way very much within the European community of nations, where Poland can contribute not just to the policy of the European Union, but in a sense to its spirit, to its character, is in emphasizing, because Poland knows this as a result of Polish history, emphasizing how important a creation Europe is, and how, despite all its challenges and problems, it still represents a very significant political and economic achievement. And I think that's important because you still see countries wanting to join, and even the issues over Ukraine, you can see, part of that is around the desire, at least of a significant section of that population, to be part of Europe. Okay, so I think Poland, because of its unique position in terms of size and geography and history, can play a part in helping Europeans understand the importance of Europe. Secondly, in terms of security, I think there is a sort of toughness that Poland has as a result of its past, and a deep sense in Poland of the importance, for example, of the transatlantic alliance. And sometimes I think there's a risk parts of Europe forget the importance of this, but we shouldn't forget it. And finally, I think that, my view of Europe for my own country, but I think it's rather the same for Poland, is that we are powerful countries who can play a part in the leadership of Europe in a way that doesn't diminish the importance of the French-German relationship, but does add dimensions to it, and therefore to the leadership of Europe. And just as I think the UK, which is why I believe so strongly in UK's membership in Europe, just as the UK, I think, can play that role, so I believe Poland can do the same, because it's a country that is large enough and now strong enough, but also confident enough to play that role. I think Poland has got enormous possibilities of partnership, not just within the European Union as a whole, but especially with Germany. But the thing that I learned when I was Prime Minister for 10 years is that you are far more powerful as a country if internally you're also doing well. If we think of why is the balance in France and Germany appeared to shift in these recent years, it's because the German economies appeared to be stronger. Now, if France, as I hope and believe it will, corrects that, then France will re-emerge again. But, that's what Poland, if Poland wants to play that role, it's got to have the economic strength and the internal political cohesion to do it. If it does that, there's no limit to what it can do. And I personally think that Poland has a unique contribution to make to Europe. And I think for countries like Britain, we want to see a strong Poland exercising strength within the European polity.